Be honest. What you're about to hear may be one of the most uncomfortable truths you've ever faced. There's a small moment that happens to almost everyone. You're about to say something. The words are right there in your throat. And then, in a split second, you swallow them. You laugh instead. You nod instead. You go quiet. The conversation moves on. And for the rest of the night, you replay that one sentence you never said. If that moment feels familiar, you're in the right place. Because what just happened to you in that moment is the exact same thing that's been quietly holding back your entire life. Not your skills. Not your luck. Not the people around you. That one tiny pattern, repeated thousands of times across years, is what stands between you and the person you could already have been. This video is going to take that pattern apart. Not with motivation, not with affirmations, not with the same recycled advice you've heard 100 times, with something different. Something Machiavelli understood 500 years ago that the modern self-help world has almost completely forgotten. Real confidence is not a feeling you wait for. It's not an upgrade you buy. It's not a switch you flip. It's a series of small, almost invisible mental moves that anyone can learn, and almost nobody does. By the end of the next 30 minutes, you're going to know all of them. Each one is going to feel obvious as soon as you hear it. And each one is going to make you slightly uncomfortable, because it'll force you to admit something you've been avoiding for years. Here's the warning. If you watch this video the way most people watch videos, half listening, scrolling on the side, you'll get nothing. Put the phone down, sit with this. Some of what's coming is going to hit hard. The hit is the point. That feeling of, oh, that's been me, is the door cracking open. Walk through it. Drop this in the comments before we start. I take up my space. 3 words. That's the deal you're making with yourself today. Let's begin. Lesson 1. The lie you've been told about confidence. Here's the lie. The lie says that one day, after enough success, after enough wins, after enough praise from the right people, you will finally feel confident. And then, once that feeling arrives, you'll be ready. You'll speak up. You'll ask for what you want. You'll stop shrinking. That feeling is never coming. Read that again. The feeling you're waiting for, the one that's supposed to land in your chest one morning and make all of this easy, doesn't exist for almost anyone. The people you think have it didn't get it from waiting. They got it from doing the thing the feeling was supposed to make easy. Action first, feeling later. And sometimes the feeling never even arrives. They just got used to acting without it. This is the truth nobody tells you in school, in church, or in most self-help books. Confidence is not produced inside you and then expressed outward. It's the other way around. You act outward, in tiny ways, and slowly your inside catches up. The order matters. Most people are running it backwards their whole life and wondering why they're still stuck. Machiavelli put this in a single line that fits on a coin. He wrote that fortune favors the one who acts before they are ready, because the world rewards the moving more than the prepared. He wasn't being poetic. He was describing the mechanism. The world is not handing out gold stars to the people who finally felt ready. It's handing them to the people who moved while still scared. So here's what this means for you right now. Stop waiting. Whatever you've been delaying because the feeling hasn't arrived, the message you haven't sent, the conversation you haven't started, the price you haven't named, the line you haven't drawn, none of that is waiting on a feeling. It's waiting on you to realize the feeling was never the trigger. You are the trigger. The action goes first. And one more thing on this. The discomfort doesn't go away even after you act. It just gets quieter. The shaky hands, the dry throat, the racing thoughts before you say something hard, those don't leave the people we call confident. They've just learned to do it anyway. The shake is no longer a stop sign. It's just background weather. Once you accept that, you've already started becoming a different kind of person. Lesson 2. Two people walk into a room. Two people walk into the same room. The first one is loud. Big handshake, big laugh, big presence, tells a story right away, drop names, talks about wins, make sure everyone notices them. To most observers, this is the confident one. The second one walks in quiet. Light handshake, calm face, doesn't rush to fill silence, speaks only when they have something specific to say, doesn't try to make the room laugh, doesn't try to make the room admire them. Most people, on first glance, miss this one entirely. By the end of the night, watch closely. Watch where the room's attention has slowly drifted. It is not on the loud one anymore. It is on the quiet one. The loud one talked a lot, but somehow the room stopped listening. The quiet one barely spoke, but somehow the room started leaning in. By the time the night is over, it's the quiet one whose number people are asking for. It's the quiet one being remembered the next day. This is the difference between performed confidence and real confidence. And it is the single most important distinction in this entire video. Performed confidence is loud because it has to be. It depends on volume to keep itself convinced. The loud person isn't trying to impress the room, they are trying to impress themselves. They need the room's reaction to feel okay. The whole show is an inside job, dressed up as an outside one. Real confidence is quiet because it doesn't need to convince anyone, including the person carrying it. There's nothing to prove because there's nothing to defend. The quiet person isn't holding back. They simply do not feel the urge to perform that the loud person can't shut off. The lack of urge is the actual signal. Machiavelli understood something most people miss. The person who needs the least attention often commands the most of it. That idea is worth holding on to. Because once you understand it, you stop being impressed by volume. You stop confusing energy with strength. You start reading rooms the way the rare few have always read them. Now, here's the part that matters for you. Most people, when they hear this, swing to the wrong side. They think the answer is to never speak, to be mysterious, to play silent. That isn't it. The point isn't to be quiet. The point is to lose the need to convince. Whether you end up speaking a lot or a little is a side effect. The core change happens inside. The day your nervous system stops needing the room to nod at you is the day a different kind of confidence shows up in your body. Quiet, but unmistakable. There's a small test you can run on yourself this week. The next time you say something in a group, watch what your brain does in the 3 seconds after. Are you scanning faces, looking for nods, hoping for laughs? That scan is the performance reflex. You don't have to punish yourself for it. Just notice it. Notice it enough times, and it weakens on its own. And the moment that reflex weakens, the room starts treating you differently, without you doing anything new on the outside at all. Now, type this in the comments. I have nothing to prove. Lesson 3. Who is really talking in your head? I want you to do something uncomfortable for a second. Think about the harshest thing your inner voice has said to you this week. Not a soft criticism, not a gentle nudge. The harshest line, the one that hit you in the chest. Picture it in actual words. Now, I want you to ask one question about that line. Whose voice was it really? If you sit with this for more than 10 seconds, something strange happens. The voice that you assumed was your own starts to sound like someone else. A parent who said something cruel in a bad moment 10 years ago. A teacher who labeled you in front of a class. A friend who turned on you. A partner who knew exactly where it would hurt. The words feel like yours because they live inside your head, but they were planted there by someone in a specific moment that you may or may not even remember. This is the part of confidence almost nobody talks about. The voice attacking you is not your real voice. It is a recording of someone else, played back in your own tone, until you forgot it was ever a recording. Your brain has been borrowing someone else's cruelty and using it on you for years. Now ask yourself something harder. Would you ever say those words to someone you love? To a friend going through a hard time? To a child who's struggling? Of course not. So why are you saying them to yourself every single day in the privacy of your own head, with no one there to even hear it? The answer is, you're not. The recording is, and you've been mistaking the recording for yourself for so long that you've never separated the two. Machiavelli wrote that no enemy in the world is more patient than the one we keep alive inside our own thoughts. He understood that the deepest control is not exercised by people who shout at you from outside. It's exercised by the voices you've already absorbed and now run on your own. They don't need to show up anymore. They left a copy of themselves inside you, and the copy keeps working long after the original is gone. So here's the move. The next time the harsh line plays, do not argue with it. Arguing only feeds it. Instead, just name it. Say to yourself, quietly, "That's not me. That's an old voice." That's it. No long speech, no counterattack, just a small label. The label creates a tiny gap between you and the voice. Inside that gap, you can choose what to do next. Without the gap, you're just obeying. Over weeks of doing this, the voice gets thinner. Not gone, thinner, quieter, less convincing. You'll still hear it, but you'll start hearing it the way you'd hear a song from years ago, coming on the radio, familiar, but no longer alive. That distance is the beginning of real internal confidence, not because the doubt left, because you stopped wearing the doubt as your own skin. And here's the part that surprises people. Once you've taken that voice apart, you don't replace it with positive thinking, you replace it with silence. The mind of a confident person isn't full of inspiring affirmations, it's just quiet. The constant inner attack stopped. The constant inner cheerleading never started. There's just space. And space is where good decisions and steady action come from, not from noise of any kind, positive or negative. Lesson 4. The meeting that never ended. Let me tell you about one type of conversation almost everyone has lived through. You walked into a meeting, or a family dinner, or a coffee with a friend. You said something simple. Maybe you said you were taking a break from a project, or that you weren't going to a family event, or that you couldn't lend the money this time. A clean sentence, a normal thing to say. And then, almost without realizing it, you spent the next 20 minutes defending that sentence. You gave 3 reasons, then a 4th one. Then you apologized for it. Then you reassured everyone that you were still a good person. By the end of it, you felt drained, smaller, vaguely guilty. As if you had done something wrong, even though all you did was state a basic preference. That entire conversation, the 20 extra minutes after your clean sentence, was the actual problem, not the sentence. The defense. This is the single biggest confidence leak in adult life. Over-explanation. And almost nobody talks about it because almost nobody recognizes they're doing it. They think they're being polite. They think they're being clear. They're not. They're trying, in real time, to talk themselves out of a guilt they shouldn't have felt in the first place. The explanation isn't for the other person. It's for the over-explainer's own nervous system. The talking is how they soothe themselves after taking a small stand. And every word of that defense weakens the original sentence. Reasons can be argued with. A clean statement cannot. The moment you offer 5 reasons, the other side picks the weakest one and pulls on it. Now the conversation is no longer about your decision. It's a debate about whether your 4th reason was good enough. You lost the conversation in your second sentence, and you never noticed. Machiavelli understood that clear decisions create respect. Repeated decisions create negotiation. Walls are accepted. Doors are pushed. The number of times you restate yourself is exactly the number of times you've invited someone to push. So here's the test for the next week. Pick one small thing you've been over-explaining. Maybe it's why you can't make it to a family event. Maybe it's why you're not interested in someone setting you up on a date. Maybe it's why you're not joining a group project. Whatever it is, give your one-sentence answer. Then, close your mouth. Do not add a single word. Sit through the silence after, even if it lasts 10 seconds, especially if it lasts 10 seconds. That silence is the entire training program for this skill. What you'll notice, almost immediately, is that the silence is survivable. The other person doesn't fall apart. The relationship doesn't end. Most of the time, they just say, "Okay," and move on. The entire defense you've been giving for years was protecting you from something that wasn't actually a threat. The over-explaining was a tax you've been paying on a danger that doesn't exist. There's a small mental shift that locks this in. Stop seeing your normal decisions as something that needs permission. They don't. You aren't running for office. You aren't filing for a court order. You're just living. The amount of explanation a normal life requires is much, much smaller than the amount most people are giving. The day you cut your explanation in half is the day your confidence doubles, even though nothing about your actual decisions has changed. Same life, just less talking around it. Now type this in the comments. I don't need to justify my decisions. Lesson 5. Your body knows before you do. Here's something that's going to sound strange at first. Then it's going to sound obvious. Then it's going to change how you carry yourself for the rest of your life. You have been trying to think your way into confidence. It has not worked. It is not going to work. Because confidence does not start in the mind. It starts in the body, and the mind is the last part of you to catch up. This is not motivation talk. This is not vague advice. This is how your nervous system actually works. Your brain is constantly monitoring your body to figure out what state you're in. If your shoulders are pulled forward and your breathing is shallow, your brain reads that as "we are in danger" and produces anxious thoughts to match. If your shoulders are open and your breathing is slow and deep, your brain reads that as "we are safe" and produces calm thoughts to match. You think your thoughts are creating your physical state. It's actually the other way around. Your physical state is feeding the thoughts. Try something right now while you're watching. Hunch your shoulders forward, round your back. Take 5 fast, shallow breaths through your nose. Notice what your mind does. It tightens. It speeds up. The thoughts get sharper, more critical, more worried. Now, sit up. Roll your shoulders back. Let your jaw relax. Take 5 slow breaths. 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Notice what your mind does now. Something in your head loosens. The next thought is calmer. Not because you decided to think calm thoughts, because your body told your brain it was safe. That is the secret nobody told you. Confidence is downstream of the body. Always has been, always will be. Machiavelli wrote that men read the bearing of another long before they read his words. The bearing is how you carry your body, your spine, your shoulders, your eyes, your pace. People decide what they think of you in the first 2 seconds of seeing you, and they do it almost entirely from your body. The mouth catches up later, but by then the verdict is mostly in. So here are the 3 small body changes that actually move the needle. First, your spine. Stop letting it collapse. Imagine a string lifting the very top of your head, not stiff, just lifted. Practice it sitting, standing, walking, in line at the store. Repetition rewires the default. Second, your breath. Most people breathe in the top third of their lungs and stay slightly anxious all day. Practice slow breathing for 5 minutes a day. 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Just 5 minutes. Within 2 weeks, your default breathing pattern starts to change. So does your default mental state. Third, your eye contact. Not aggressive, just steady. Hold eye contact 1 second longer than feels natural when someone is speaking to you. That extra second tells the other person, without a word, that you are not running on fear. Over time, people start treating you differently. They don't know why. Their nervous systems are reading yours. Here's the thing most people will refuse to do. They will keep trying to think themselves into confidence. They'll read more books, listen to more podcasts, write more affirmations. None of it will work because the body is still telling the brain a different story. The cheap, free, slightly boring practice of just sitting and standing differently for 2 weeks would do more for them than another year of reading, but it doesn't feel exciting, so almost nobody does it. The ones who do quietly become unrecognizable inside of a few months. Lesson 6. The quiet cost of being liked. A few years from now, you'll look back and see something. You'll see all the small moments you bent yourself out of shape to keep someone happy. The yes you gave when you meant no. The laugh at the joke that wasn't funny. The opinion you swallowed because the room was leaning the other way. The relationship you stayed in for too long. The job you kept because leaving felt rude. Each one, alone, looked harmless. Stacked together, they're the whole reason you don't recognize yourself anymore. This is the price of needing to be liked. And almost no one sees it until the bill has been quietly piling up for a decade. Here's how the trick works on you. The need to be liked feels like kindness. It feels like being a good person. It feels generous, so you don't question it. You don't notice that you've slowly trained the people around you, that your preferences don't matter, that your time is free, that your no is negotiable. They didn't even ask you to do this. You volunteered. Years of small, polite surrenders that no one was forcing you to make. What's worse, the people you bent for don't actually respect you more for it. They might find you convenient, they might find you easy to be around, but under all that, there's a quiet truth. People do not deeply respect anyone who folds easily. They might enjoy the access, they might use the kindness, but when the chips are down, they don't look to that person for backup. Folding earns convenience, it does not earn weight. And here's where it gets sharper. The same people who like the soft version of you the most are usually the ones who get the most upset when you stop being soft. That's information. If someone's affection for you depended on your shrinking, they were never your friend. They were your customer. The relationship was a transaction you didn't realize you were in. Machiavelli understood something most people learn too late. The moment your opinions start changing with the room, your credibility starts disappearing with them. People may like someone who always agrees, but they rarely trust them. Being agreeable doesn't make you valuable, it makes you forgettable. Your word loses weight because everyone can sense it bends with the wind. They don't trust your yes because they've seen how easily you give it. And they don't trust your no because they've seen how quickly it becomes yes. The way out is small at first. You don't need to become difficult. You just need to start being honest in low-stakes moments. The next time someone asks where you want to eat, say where you want to eat. Don't ask back. Don't deflect. Just answer. The next time someone asks your opinion on something light, give your real one, not the one designed to keep peace. The next time you don't want to do something small, decline without inventing a reason. Each of these moments is a small rep. None of them are dramatic. None of them will end any real relationship. But after a few months of doing them, something inside you settles. You start trusting yourself again. You're not living in a tiny costume of agreement anymore. You're standing in your actual shape, and the relationships that survive that shift are real. The ones that don't were never built on you anyway. They were built on a smaller version of you that you were maintaining for them. There's a quiet bonus that comes with this work. People who would have liked the soft version of you have a hard time staying interested in the real version, so they leave. And in the space they leave, a different kind of person shows up. People who like the real thing, people who weren't drawn to the costume. The trade is uncomfortable for a few months. After that, it's the best thing that happens to your life. Now, type this beautiful affirmation in the comments. My honesty matters more than being liked. Lesson 7. The mechanic nobody explains. So far, we've been talking about confidence in pieces, the lie of waiting, the trap of performance, the voice in your head, the over-explaining, the body, the need to be liked. Here, at the end, I want to give you the one thing that ties all of it together, the actual mechanic, the how. The reason real confidence works in some people and never seems to land in others. Confidence is not a belief, it's a track record. Read that again. Confidence is not a belief, it's a track record. Your brain is constantly running a quiet calculation in the background. It asks one question. Based on what I've actually watched this person do, how much should I trust them to follow through? Notice the word watched, not heard, not thought, not affirmed, watched. Your brain weighs your actual behavior, the small daily acts of follow-through or not follow-through, weigh more heavily than anything you tell yourself. This is why affirmations alone don't fix low confidence. You can repeat, I am powerful, 100 times a morning. But if your brain has been watching you cancel plans on yourself, skip the hard task, fold under small pressure, push off the conversation you said you'd have, the affirmation slides off. Your brain is not stupid. It knows the evidence. The evidence is what shapes the inner verdict, not the chant. Machiavelli wrote that a man is judged not by the speeches he makes about himself, but by the works he leaves behind. The same applies inward. You are judged most harshly and most accurately by yourself. And the judgment is based on the things you actually did, not the things you told yourself you would do. So here's the move that quietly changes everything. Start keeping small promises to yourself, not big ones, small ones you can keep. Tell yourself you'll go for a 15-minute walk after dinner, and then go. Tell yourself you'll send one important message tomorrow morning, and then send it. Tell yourself you won't open social media for the first hour of the day, and then don't. These look like nothing. They are not nothing. Each one is a brick in the wall of self-trust. After a few weeks of this, something in your head shifts. Your brain starts noticing the pattern. The internal calculation changes. The next time you need to do something hard, the inner voice has to file a different report. We have evidence this person follows through. The hard thing is possible. Confidence is born here. Not in books, not in speeches. In the small accumulated proof of you keeping your own word to yourself. This is also why low-confidence people stay stuck, even when they understand all the right ideas. They never lay the bricks. They read the books. They watch the videos. They nod along. They feel inspired. And then they break the next small promise to themselves and don't even notice. They never connect the broken promise to the broken confidence, so they go look for more advice, more inspiration, more information. None of it sticks. The wall stays low because no bricks are being laid. So here's the deal you make with yourself today. Pick one small promise. Just one. Make it small enough that you are sure you can keep it. Keep it tomorrow. Then pick another one for the day after. Keep that one too. Build the file. Give your brain something to read that isn't a chant. Give it evidence. Within a few months, you will be a different person, not because you talked yourself into being different, but because you watched yourself follow through enough times that your brain finally believed it. That's how the wall gets built. One small kept promise at a time. There is no other way that works. If this video is doing its job, you're feeling two things right now. A small ache, because some of this hit closer to home than you wanted. And a small heat, because you can see, for maybe the first time, that the way out isn't a mystery. It's not even particularly complicated. It's just a series of small choices you've been avoiding. Let's lay them out one more time, so they're easy to carry. Confidence is not a feeling waiting to land. It's a position you take while still scared. It is not a performance. The room reads the absence of performance, not the presence of it. The voice in your head attacking you is not yours. Name it as an old voice and the gap opens up. You don't owe a paragraph of reasons for your normal decisions. State your thing once and let the silence work. The body teaches the mind, not the other way around. Spine, breath, eye contact, repeat. The need to be liked is a slow leak that costs you more than you realize. Small, honest moments fix it. And the whole structure rests on one thing. Small promises to yourself, kept over and over, until your own brain has no choice but to take you seriously. That's it. That's the whole playbook. There is nothing else hiding in another video. There is nothing else hiding in another book. There is no secret level beyond this. The work is small, daily, and slightly boring, which is exactly why most people will never do it. They'll keep looking for the dramatic version of confidence that doesn't exist, while the quiet version sits right in front of them, waiting to be built one brick at a time. The people you'll see in a few years with that quiet, settled certainty about themselves are not going to be the people who watched the most videos. They're going to be the people who picked up one or two of these and actually did them, even imperfectly, even badly at first. This is the entire game. Machiavelli wrote a line at the end of one of his works that fits this perfectly. He said, "The work of a man is the only true mirror he has, and a wise man should look into it daily without flinching." Look at the work. Not the intention, not the desire, not the plan. The work, the actual evidence of who you've been this week. And then change one small thing today and let the evidence start updating. If this video gave you something, hit like right now, not later, and subscribe if you haven't, because this is what we do here. We strip the noise off the things that actually matter. Also, drop this final statement in the comments. I take up my space. I do not bow. I do not shrink.